All right, everybody. You know, as you guys know, sometimes when we do this show, Sean's here by himself because I am Sleeping Beauty. Today, it's just me. It's just me. The handsome guy has dozed off, I guess. So Sean will be coming in whenever he has it. So let's start off as we always do. Good morning, neighbors. Good morning. It's just me here today. The polls open in 22 hours for the New York State primary, and obviously, you guys know we've got some candidates here today. We've got Tom Weirman running in New York's fourth assembly district, which is like Stony Brook ish up there, over up by the university. And we've got the long serving, awesome Judy Pascal. She's going to be in about 5 minutes. She's somewhere around here. But guys, before we bring in the guests, I just want to talk about obviously, there's been a lot going on in the last couple weeks, between different groups and different candidates and different people and whatnot. I just want to let everybody know that, you know, how important it is to get out tomorrow. You know, over there's over 2 billion people around the world who don't get to do what we and so many of our friends take for granted here in America. And I'm going to get a little nerdy on this because I really do like this stuff. I really do like the fact that we're able to pick our own leaders, regardless of what people might think about elections, or we have the opportunity to do things that people around the world just don't get to do. There's 1.3 billion people in China who don't get to do this. Everyone in Cuba doesn't know what it's like to vote. Everyone in North Korea doesn't know what it's like to vote. For a long time, in many Asian countries throughout the Soviet Union, people didn't know what it was like to be able to pick their own leaders and how important it really is to get out and make your voices heard. And look, obviously, you guys know who we're behind. It's Lee Zeldin all the way. And I know we've lost a lot of followers watching that. We lost some friends and viewers and followers, but whatever. It's just very important that tomorrow you guys get out there and make your voices heard, regardless of who you're voting for, how important it really is. So as I said, tomorrow all the county stuff is online. Obviously, Judy Pascal, the long-serving county clerk, will be here in a minute. She's our pick. She kind of got screwed over by the local parties because she didn't toe the line, which is what happens in this county, unfortunately. When you don't do exactly what the leadership says, they attack you. They send out ridiculous mailers with a whole bunch of bullshit in it. I'm sure you guys all got it if you guys are registered Republicans. Oh, one more important thing that I want to be able to get to. Tomorrow, if you guys go down to vote and they tell you that you can't vote, remember, you need to be a registered Republican to vote tomorrow. Independents, Democrats, you guys can't vote. This is the importance of coming up during elections. This is the love this. Love getting that text message. This is not good. The big guy. Oh, come on down, buddy. Yep. Finally, Sean overslept and not me. Come on down. But guys, the importance of going out tomorrow, you have to be a registered Republican to vote. And that's why we've been working on voter registration, getting people registered, switching the parties over. It's big. This is a big deal. We have a chance here to really, really make a dent on New York State. Something we haven't been able to do in a long time. You have a lame duck governor that everybody seems to hate. Everybody seems to hate Kathy Hochul. I almost feel bad for the woman. I mean, I don't, but I almost do. I almost feel bad for the fact that it seems like even her own party doesn't like her. I was watching the Democratic primary debates because I'm sick and I like pain. And these people, they really just stick their finger up in the air and see which way the wind blows. I talk about it on this show all the time when it comes down to presidential candidates, about Bernie Sanders, right? I don't like Bernie Sanders. I think he's a communist. I think every one of his ideas are genuinely horrific. However, I respect him for the fact that he believes what he believes. He thinks that his ideas are the best ideas, and obviously they're not. Communism, socialism doesn't work anywhere. But when there's someone like Kamala Harris, finger up to the wind. Which way's the wind blowing? That's Kathy Hochul. In the Democratic primary, we have someone like that also. Jumaane Williams. He's the public advocate. I have no idea what the hell that job does. I'm sure once we get Republicans in all these offices, we could remove that position because it sounds completely useless. You know me, I'm a big fan of removing useless government jobs, which would be pretty much all of them. Pretty much all government jobs are useless. Now, Jumaane Williams in the Democratic primary, he actually believes in the Bernie Sanders way of things, and he's making a dent. I don't think he's making a big enough dent. Obviously, you see New York's Tom Suozzi. He's represented the Northwest of Long Island for quite some time, up in Northwest Nassau. He's running against her also. You know, she's got a harder primary than people think. I think Kathy Hochul pulls it out at the end of the day. But, you know, we'll see what the Democratic voters like to do. And obviously on our side, I mean, we could legislate this 10,000 times more in the next 22 hours. A lot of people have their minds made up. And if you don't have your minds made up, text me and I'll help you with any questions that you may have. Obviously, you know, we're for Lee Zeldin. And, you know, the chat, I'm sure the chat is going crazy right now because some people may not like what some people have done. They may not like moves that have been made, and that's okay because tomorrow the voters will decide. Tomorrow the voters will decide. And yes, there's no Rumble today because normally I don't run this bad boy right here. Sean does. So we are winging this. We are winging this today, ladies and gentlemen. What do we got? Oh, we got some visitors here. Let's see. But we're going to be able to pick who we want tomorrow. And like I said, you know, we're behind Lee Zeldin. We're behind Judy Pascal. You guys may have gotten some stuff in the mail about Judy. She's going to be in here in a minute to dispel some of these absurd notions that have been going out that the party wasted like $300,000 on. The party wasted $300,000 on a county clerk's race when we have a governor race to win. That's a little inside baseball you guys don't know about. But let's see. Judy will be here in a minute. It's a lot different doing the show by yourself. You got to come up with things to talk about here. Come on in. Just shut the door. All righty, everybody. Let me turn you up here. Right over there. So if you're a registered Republican in Suffolk County, you've probably gotten some mail about this woman, and they are, well, the easiest way to say it is it's just total bullshit. It's complete bullshit. So everybody, for the last, 16 years you've been county clerk?
Yes, I've been the Suffolk County clerk for 16 years.
16 years. Everybody say hello to, where are we at here? Say hello to Judy Pascal. Judy, it's your camera right there facing you.
Okay, hi. Good morning.
So you guys have seen Keep Judy Pascal signs all over the county because Sean and I have been putting them up everywhere. So
yes, thank you very much.
Oh, absolutely. Well, you know what? This is what I like. I like the fact that you've been serving us in the community for so long, and you've done the right thing. So we haven't had any budget increases in the last
16 years. 0% budget increase.
0% budget increase in the last 16 years.
We've won the most awards. The Suffolk County Clerk's Office is one of 62 county clerk's offices in New York State. The Suffolk County Clerk's Office has won the Best of New York 3 times. We've won a grade A+ from the Press of Long Island for transparency. We've won a whole host of other awards for bringing government closer to the people, which is what the people expect from their elected officials. It's what they deserve from their elected officials, and it's what they receive from the Suffolk County Clerk's Office. So I take that, I just spoke to somebody and they said, oh, the county clerk's office, it's a low key office. It is a low key office, but I would venture to say that my office has more of a direct relationship with the residents of Suffolk County. Anybody that owns a home, that has a mortgage, has a deed. If you're unfortunate enough to be involved in a court proceeding, I'm the county clerk in charge of land records. I'm the clerk of county and Supreme Court. I am also the records management officer for the county, which means that I am in charge of preserving and storing the historic documents of Suffolk County, which goes back over 300 years. So it's an important job. Is it a high key profile job? No, it isn't, and that's fine. We deliver the services to the people of this county, the services that they expect from their elected officials. I take that job very, very seriously. People say, "Oh, the county clerk, you have no power." Nah, I have no power. I don't raise taxes. I don't establish policy, but I do protect your records. And one of the things that I was very concerned about a few years ago was lobbying the state to protect the personal information on your records, and we were able to determine that we were able to take care of that, so that as best as we could within the confines of the law, that we were able to protect the personal information and keep that off some of your documents, which is a preventative measure for identity theft, which is something that everybody's concerned about.
Absolutely. And obviously, you guys have seen, we are working closely with the PBA to keep Judy Pascal in office. You guys know on this show and in this organization, we as our next governor likes to say, we unapologetically back the blue. So I know, Judy, you're endorsed by the Suffolk County PBA, and there's a few more of them.
Yes, I'm endorsed by the PBA, the SOA, the detectives, the probation officers. There's a whole host of them, and I have to tell you that I have the utmost respect for our law enforcement people. They have been absolutely wonderful. They are a bunch of very, very dedicated people to the safety of the people of this county. And I can't give them any more kudos than I already have. They've been absolutely wonderful. But I'd also like to mention that I've also been endorsed by the Association of Municipal Employees, which is the bargaining unit that oversees the county workforce other than law enforcement. And I have about 100 employees that work for me that are fall under that category in the AME. I have to tell you, they've been extremely supportive. And I'm just going to give a little plug to my employees if I haven't done that already. I always say, and some of the other elected officials tease me about this, I have the best employees in Suffolk County. And apologies to anybody else that's listening. My employees go the extra mile. I can't tell you how many people come up to me at events and say to me, "Oh my goodness, I was down the hall. I needed this, I needed that. Your so-and-so was so wonderful." I cannot tell you that happens to me so often, because when government is very difficult to navigate. And when people come into a government office, they expect to get the runaround, or they expect to be ignored. And I'm not saying that of all government offices, certainly, but I will tell you that they are shocked and surprised and happily surprised at the level of service that they get from my AME employees. So
now
kudos go to them.
Now there's a comment in the chat here, which we really got to discuss, because it says, Frank's asking, when did you switch parties and why?
Okay.
Now, guys, I'm going to say something that Judy can't say because she's an elected official. If you got something in the mail attacking her, it is bullshit. It is just inside baseball, party politic, backroom dealing, hackery from people who have never accomplished anything in their entire lives. There's only one registered Republican running in this race, and there she is. Lifelong Republican. If you got hate mail in the mail about her, it's crap. It's crap because of deals that got made that I couldn't even get into right now, but I've worked it out. So if you're a party hack and you're in the chat watching, just know I'm on to you, bastards, all right? I'm on to you because I'm at least 10 times smarter than each and every one of you. So, look at that. We know who that guy is. There we go, Judy. Oh, there we go. Boom. See, now I'll put you back up when I take the comment down. So it's totally deniable when you kick ass tomorrow.
Listen, I will tell you that, this campaign has been so ugly. And I mean, it just really defies, it defies all credibility. There was a saying that somebody once said that, in politics, you're supposed to defeat your opponent, not destroy your opponent.
Mhm.
And I think if more campaigns were run that way, I think that the voters would be better served. When you do an ugly campaign like they've done, it's really a disservice to the voters. Voters are smart. Voters are educated. They need to know who better will serve them in that particular position. I am a Republican. I have been a Republican my entire adult life. I encourage anyone to go to the Board of Elections and ask to see my voter registration, and you will see that I am a Republican. Conversely, my opponent is not a Republican. He is not.
Not a Republican.
No, he is not. I am the only Republican in tomorrow's Republican primary running for Suffolk County Clerk.
And you know what? It's so funny because all the people that the party hates are the ones who've come out for you publicly. Us, Rob Cornicelli, there's a whole list of them that people, because we see through their crap. At least I do, at least. And, I want you to know that we're doing everything we possibly can to keep you in office because you've done a great job for us. What is this? Oh, why am I don't care. Text messages in the middle of a show, like I'm not doing something. But, so I want everyone to know what you were saying, the county clerk, what they do. You keep records, you do a lot of the document stuff, you do a lot of the mortgage brokering, I guess, right?
We don't broker, no, we file. We record.
So whenever you guys need documents and you know how hard it's going to be to get them, just know that you can get them in Suffolk County easily whenever you need because Judy Pascal's got you covered. Judy, I want to thank you for coming in. Obviously, we started a little late today because Sleeping Beauty's at home. But okay. He'll be jumping in a minute. But you got anything else you want to say?
I just want to thank the loud majority. I have to tell you that my experience and when we kind of like got to know each other a little better, I've gotten to know your group a little bit better. I am really, really impressed with your love of this country, with your, absolute desire to make things better. And I will say that you have been your whole organization has been a great support system for me throughout this entire process. And I appreciate it very much. And I have a whole new level of respect and love for every one of you. And keep up the good work.
Thank you so much. That honestly, that really means a lot. And guys, like I said before in the chat, there's some people in the chat who are for certain candidates, this, that, and the third, whether you like Lee or Andrew or Rob, or if you're that one guy that likes Harry Wilson, I don't know what the hell you're doing, but guys, it is so important no matter who you're voting for governor, you got to keep Judy Pascal in the county clerk's race. That's your way to tell the party to, kick rocks. Judy Pascal, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
All righty, guys, coming up in 1 minute, we're going to have Tom Weirman coming in. He's running for Assembly District 4, and I think Sleeping Beauty's awake. So Sean will be jumping in the chat in a little bit. I got to hit that button before that happens. Yeah, Tommy. So, guys, as I said before, thanks, Judy. As I said before, guys, whoever you're voting for governor, obviously, we're for Lee Zeldin. It's so important to keep Judy Pascal in because this is one of those races this is one of those positions. There he is, Tom Weirman popping in. This is one of those races that you have to know what you're doing. Oh, you're jumping in over here. Boom.
You want me?
No, yeah, sit over there. That's fine. There we go. So, obviously, like I said, guys, no matter which race you are going for, Judy Pascal's got to be your choice because you got sent bullshit in the mail from people who think you're stupid. They think the party thinks you're stupid, and they think that, first off, guys, if you're watching from the party, mail, really, what the hell are we doing here, right? Get on a podcast, start a show, have your candidates, put them in front of you, like the next assemblyman from Assembly District 4, Tom Weirman. What's going on, man?
Hey, Kevin, how are you, man? Thanks for having me on.
No, thank you for coming in. And this is a very big Assembly District for me because I am a Stony Brook grad. I went to Stony Brook. I dodged death on Nichols Road many times going to school up there. So why don't you tell everybody a little about yourself?
All right. So, Kevin, everybody on the Long Island Loud Majority podcast here. I'm Tom Weirman. I'm running for New York State Assembly District 4, and that district includes anywhere from Stony Brook to Setauket to Port Jeff, some of Mount Sinai, Port Jeff Station, Coram, Selden, Center Reach, and then parts of Yaphank, Middle Island, Medford, and Lake Grove. I'm not a politician at all.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually a New York City teacher up until October 4th of this past year when Mayor Bill de Blasio instituted the vaccine mandate. I had no problem with anybody who wanted to take the shot on their own, on their free will, but that was not going to be me. I did not believe in it for me or my family. And as a result, they threatened me with my livelihood or my freedom. And you know what? I chose freedom, and I'll do that every single time. So I decided, instead of whining about it and complaining about it, I'm going to try to do something about it. And I'm running for New York State Assembly.
Absolutely. And it's so interesting, that seat, because for such a long time I thought to myself, how the hell does Steve Engelbart, oh boy, let's Sleeping Beauty's here. Bring him in. Sean's here now. But
I hear nothing though. Here's the problem. I got to try and get this audio working.
But so the Steve Engelbart seat I find so interesting because it's in what would otherwise be a red area. I used to joke around that Senator Matera has a huge red area and then just a blot of blue right in the middle of it. Steve Engelbart's been there for what, 20 years in the Assembly?
30 years, actually.
30
been there since 1992.
30 years in the Assembly.
Yeah, and it seems like Nichols Road seems to be a dividing line between red and blue, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Go west of Nichols, it's pretty bright red, and you go, east of Nichols, and it turns kind of blue. But this year, we're going to turn it red. Absolutely.
And guys, it's so important because we talk about it all the time on the show. When I was up in Albany, people joked around that the Assembly was never going to be red, that, there's too many New York City seats. So it's so important for us Long Islanders and everybody from upstate to get involved in your Senate races and your Assembly races, because quite frankly, the city just has way too many seats. So we've got to do our part out here and knock out the establishment people like Steve Engelbart. So what are some of the big, obviously you talked about vaccines and you were a teacher, which is awesome. I don't know how you did it, by the way. I don't know how you did it. As looking back on what an asshole student I was, I cannot imagine what it must have been like to deal with students like me in school.
Well, you see, I don't have much hair on my head anymore. So, that's, thank you for contributing to that.
Oh, absolutely. And obviously you must have a friend in this chat, because someone is, check out that comment that's going to pop up on the screen. One of your friends must be breaking your chops.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. It happens, but I like to give it too, so that's okay.
So what did you teach?
I was a phys ed teacher and a health teacher.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
The fun ones.
Well, what I always say, I think the smartest people are the phys ed teachers, because they found a profession in what they love sports, they love nutrition, they love, physical activity, working out. And they found a way of making money out of doing it. So it was fantastic.
No, that's absolutely incredible. And so other than free choice and medical freedom, what are some big things that you like to focus on?
Well, listen, I think every Republican's going to talk about, obviously bail reform and respecting the law enforcement and defending the police, and instead of defunding the police. But you know what? Right now, also a big focus of mine is I want to bring some sanity to the election system. Whether or not you're a Republican or Democrat, whichever side gets elected, the other side's going to complain that there was fraud being done. So, I figured out a way. I think we have an opportunity to actually fix the election system. And if you go on my website, tomforassembly.com, I have a plan that actually says, here's how we do it. We combine the most secure technology in the world, which is called blockchain technology, with a biological marker, a thumbprint. You have one vote, one thumbprint, one time. You can't go to any other polling place. You can't vote. There's so many things we could do, but I think this would be one of the most simple pieces of technology that we could employ. It's inexpensive, and we could do it by the next election.
That's, you're actually the first person I've heard bring up something like that. I know.
It's because I created it.
Oh, look at that. Look, this guy's making policy already. I like this. He's taking action already.
How many times do we elect people and they just give you platitudes, but they have no ideas? If you go to my website, I have an idea how to redo the property tax assessments. I think, listen, we got to stop electing people who just say mantras and don't do anything. I'm tired of the Rhino Republicans taking office and they don't do anything. I'm not part of the establishment. All right? I don't have the party backing me. And you know what? I'm okay with that in a big way, because nobody's going to control me. That's why I put bold things out there on my website. So that's what I look to do when I get into take office.
Absolutely. Well, Sean and I were driving around the other day up in your district, dropping some Judy Pascal signs, and I was like, "Wow, look at Tommy's got some signs everywhere."
Well, I had a lot more until a lot of them started getting stolen.
Oh yeah, well that's the party hackery. My favorite is when you put up a sign in a place that isn't like a private establishment or right. Outside of something. Maybe you put it on somebody's lawn by accident on a corner and it disappears. No, I know damn well they're taking Judy's signs down. I know damn well they're taking your signs down. It is a wild thing to watch.
You know, it's not easy raising money. Raising money is a difficult thing. And when people give me money, I try to spend it in a way where it's going to promote my ideas and myself. And then when they have it, when they steal that, that's stealing money from my contributors, and that really bothers me.
Absolutely. And you know, when you win this primary tomorrow, because I'm starting to pick it up from the Jamie Silvestri way of things. I don't say if anymore. I say when. Every time I'm like, oh, if we can do this, she's like, no, when can we do that? I'm like, you know what? I like this sort of I like this sort of mentality. Oh, look at it is. Look at it is.
Oh yeah.
The number one in this number 10.
Oh, that's right.
Sean and I said we were going to be the number 10 for Halloween. But
what's up, Sean?
Hey, what's up, Tom Weirman? We love it. You guys hear me okay?
Let's see you there, Sean. All
right, let's see. And I can hear you better, Sean.
There you go. Tom Weirman running for state assembly. We love it. I see some of your signs. We've been talking to you for a long time. Kevin was just saying we were up in your district for doing a little sign drop the other night, and we're pretty fired up. So how are you feeling going into the race? What are some of the just give me your outlook on the race. How's it been? This is your first time ever campaigning for something like this, right?
Yeah, this is my first time campaigning for any type of political office, and it's been a really interesting ride, right? So, you know, if you're not the party pick, campaign managers don't want to even talk to you because they're afraid of being blackballed. So this has really been all on me and my family.
Mm-hmm.
Our campaign office is my kitchen table, you know. But I tell you what, man, I'm really fired up because I have been out there, and I believe I'm outworking my opponent. I have been knocking on doors. I've knocked on thousands of doors, literally thousands of doors. And I've had a lot of people stand alongside me, volunteers, friends, family, people who just really believe in what I'm doing. They sympathize and empathize with my story about getting released because of the darn vaccine mandate. And, you know, people are like, you know what, we need somebody different. We need somebody who's not part of the establishment. And that's me. You know what? I just want to be the voice for the people who don't have that voice. And I'm happy to do it.
Absolutely.
Tom, let me ask you a question. You know, we deal with this all the time, and I see someone in the chat. Charlie's in the chat. Your friend, our friend, mutual friend. I didn't know you knew Charlie, but I love the guy.
Awesome. Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's a good dude. I worked with him for a little bit, and we had some fun. And Charlie Martin says hello. So you know, for those of you watching who may have come from where we came from, you may get it. But let me ask you a question. Have you started to learn new things about yourself in this process? And I don't mean that in an inspirational way. When you run for office or you put yourself in the public in the public view, people seem to start to come up with different things that all of a sudden you've done or you do or you stand for. And by that I mean rumors. I learn new things about myself every day. Have there been any funny things about you, Tom Weirman, that you've learned, or there any funny rumors or things that people have said about you in this process? Because sometimes people have to just make things up to get their desired goal. Have you had any interesting rumors or conspiracies about you put forth that you've heard of lately?
Yeah, well, you know, it is really interesting, you know, just getting into this whole world of politics. You know, I always, you know, when Donald Trump was talking about the swamp, I really thought the swamp was simply on the national level. I had no idea it was so intense at a local level also. I mean, yeah, you know, recently, I mean, I think overall, I think the race between me and my opponent has been pretty clean overall.
Good.
Just recently, though, I think because, you know, we did some polling and I was up substantially in the polling. Some rumors started coming out that, you know, I was pro-gay and trans rights, which I'm not pro and gay trans rights. I have no problem with gay and trans people. But I think the Constitution affords the necessary amount of rights for everyone. But so that was out there. But then there were some really nasty things that were done, and I'm not going to get into the details of it. But some very perverse things were posted on Twitter targeting my daughter, which I thought was just out of control.
That's great.
And I tell you what, man, you know, I know this isn't very political to say, but good thing those people didn't put their real name out there, because I'm a dad first. I'm not a politician.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
And, you know, we've been seeing this left and right. We're going to talk about what happened to the Lee Zeldin sign in Huntington, because I think it's something that everybody needs to know about. I don't know, Tom, you know what happened to that?
I don't know.
Well, you know, I don't believe it was anyone on our side. I don't believe it was anybody who may want other candidates. It probably came from the left because these people have
No,
no
this is
shame.
from the left. I believe
They're-
this came from the left.
Well, first off, the majority of Republicans don't even know what this saying means. But somebody
Right.
went up to a 4x4 Lee Zeldin sign in Huntington and wrote 187 on it, which is the police code for murder, and then drew a giant swastika on it.
Oh, I believe that. I actually had somebody signed up on my my campaign website as a volunteer as John Wilkes Booth. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, and that was early in the
Jesus.
campaign, and I'm thinking like nobody knows who I am. I'm running for state assembly. I've never done this before. Yet people try to throw these little bit of these intimidation tactics, but guess what? I'm not scared. So
no, and you know what? It's so wild too because I just think to myself like, is this like, are you convincing anyone with this sort of crowd? I know we had one sign up on our website, loudmajorityus.com. If you guys want to go over there, sign up for the newsletter so you never miss out on anything we've got going on. We had one of our signups from Mao Zedong.
Yeah.
And I was impressed because I was under the impression that he had died a while ago. And if he hadn't died a while ago, I think he'd be, I don't know, 130 at this point. So Mao, if you're watching, we want to just say hello.
That's a big time follower.
Mao Zedong. Right? That's pretty wild. And he was like, yeah, socialism's great. And I was like, oh, really, Mao? Yeah. Really, Mao? It's funny because they wrote it in English too, which, was.
Well, here's something about the assembly seat though. I think a lot of people, they don't pay attention to what state legislature is all about. We kind of focus on president and Congress, and the average person, that's what they know about. But if you're a New Yorker, and if you had been to Florida or Texas or Tennessee or even like a place like Missouri during the pandemic, and then you came back to New York, you saw a completely different place. Mm-hmm. You saw free states, and then you saw an oppressive state that was run by tyrannical people. And I think it's so important for the viewers here and the listeners on the podcast to understand that what goes on in New York, the people who create the law here affects even more than what the federal lawmakers do. And it's so important that in this primary, we elect a person who is not going to be part of the political establishment, who's not going to be a rhino, somebody who really, really cares. And how do you know I care? Well, I wasn't willing to. I gave up my livelihood instead of giving up my freedom. And you know what else I'm going to do, guys? And I'm saying this to everybody. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I want people to hold me accountable. I'm term limiting myself. All right. I will not serve if I'm elected, if I'm blessed to be elected 4 terms, which will be 8 years. I will not do more than that as assemblyman. And I want people to know that because I do not want to be affected by the swamp. And I do not want to be affected by the political pressure that comes along with wanting a career job as a politician. I don't think it's right, and I'm not going to do it.
That's awesome. Now, and there's so many people out there that talk term limits, but they don't put it on themselves. So I like to hear that. And
that's the problem. Because
it's so funny. This chat's blowing up right now about a conversation that I can't wait to have.
Yeah.
About an assault that took place in
an assault that took place in the city. And somewhat of assault.
Assault. Turns out Staten Island's got its own Jesse Smollett. But I'll say I don't really care. It's 22 hours left, and I never have to deal with that name ever again. So the hell with it. Whatever.
Right.
But Sean, ask him because now I'm just laughing.
Well, it's funny. You're taking on an establishment. We have a lot of mutual friends, and I'm not going to sit there and throw names out there, but I know we've had folks on this show who have taken on the party before, taken on the establishment before, and it's not easy. And you see now what you've signed up for. You see the rumors that are going to come out about you, and unfortunately, there are people that will go after your children because they know that that's a way to get you unraveled and a way to get you upset. You did say you're a dad first, that their real names weren't on there. And obviously nothing was pursued, but there's a whole chat of people that are watching right here that at some point, some of them are going to want to run for office. What is your advice to those folks? What can you tell them to get them ready, to get them prepared, and to get them coached up for something that, is not easy, for something that is extremely challenging, for the hate, the vitriol, and the resistance that they're going to face? This isn't the 1700s where you can just run out and go, hey, my name's Joe Schmo, and I saw you in church yesterday. I'm going to run and be your congressman. This is going to be, and obviously we didn't have a Congress like that in the 1700s, but, this is a new day, a new era. Everybody's connected. Everybody gets information like this. What is your advice to folks who may be watching right now, young and old, who want to run for office in the future? What can you say that'll help better get them prepared for some of the obstacles that you've been facing?
Well, the first thing I'd say is don't do this for you. If you're going to do this, you're doing this because you have a love for the country and you have a love for your state or wherever it is, your local legislature, whatever office you're going to be doing it for. If you're doing this for you, your ego is going to get in the way. And when your ego gets in the way, you get prideful. And that's the first sign of a downfall. That's actually biblical, right? Pride comes before the fall. But I would say you got to be prepared to be all in. If you're not all in, don't do it. You're going to lose and you're going to be wasting time. You're going to be wasting your donors' money. So be all in. You have to work extremely hard. Be prepared to be, up early in the morning and going to sleep really late at night. Because like I said, this is mostly on like me and my family. So what do? I pound the pavement during the day. Now that it gets dark out really late, we try to stop around like 8:45, 9 o'clock, come home, maybe eat some dinner, prepare my signs, start going out at 11 p.m. Usually don't come home till 1 p.m. until I'm done putting the stuff in, then rinse and repeat, and you got to be prepared for some interesting things. I'll tell you a quick funny story. I was in a specific area of my district I wasn't too familiar with. It was around 12:30 at night, and I was about to put a sign up, and usually I go out late so you don't get hit by cars, during the day. And, I was putting a sign out, and I see these people staring at me. And to make a long story short, they approached me, and we're having a conversation, because I said I was Republican. They said they were Democrat. And all of a sudden it's like 1 a.m. and then all of a sudden these other people start coming around, probably not the best neighborhood either. And make a long story short, as we're talking, they're doing drug deals while I'm talking to them. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, holy cow, this is totally crazy right now. And I'm just hoping to get out of here alive. But I tell you what, like I said, they were Democrats, but you know what? I had them really thinking about some different topics. And we actually talked about race. We talked about, what's considered white privilege. And I got them to think, and it was really encouraging because I want to go into places that Republican Party typically doesn't go into. I want to go into places where it's maybe mainly Democrat dominated and also people that don't even look like me. Because I think, the Republican Party has just ignored these places for too long, just counting on, let's say, the white vote. But you know what? A conservatism and, love for the country doesn't have a color of your skin, right? The only color we worried about that is red, white, and blue. And I think that's for everybody.
Absolutely. And, it's so funny that for so long, President Obama talked about the coalition of the ascendant. And he would talk about how if all the minority groups came together, we could defeat the evil majority, which is obviously nonsense. But now we're starting to see the Latinos, they seem to really like America. And they do not go anywhere.
The Latinx community.
The Latinx community.
Yeah, but you're calling them the Latinos, but you know what? If they love this country, they're Americans.
Absolutely.
First.
You know what? That's so great because that's something we really, all of us, everyone should really say more of.
Yeah, but we all fall into subgroups, right? I'm half German, half Italian, right? My stomach is all Italian. When I go to Uncle Giuseppe's, I get excited. I mean, my endorphins rise when I see the deli counter there, right? So my Italian side. So yeah, we don't deny our heritage. But in America, it's America first, and then all the extra heritages that we have, the ethnicities, that adds the flavor to us. So it's okay to be those things, but you got to be America first.
Well, guys, I really, what the hell else more do you need to know? Obviously, this guy's better than the party-backed hack, who's actually not a bad guy. But
he's not a bad guy.
No, I've had some dealings with him. But Tom, you are obviously our pick. I wanted to have you on the show for a while. We were talking to the distributor of pizza and the receiver of taxes, Anthony Whitman, about having him for a while, but we don't sleep anymore.
I call him the tax collector.
The tax collector. That's it. Yeah.
Well, it was Charlie. Charlie blew up my phone yesterday, and it was everybody. And there was a lot of people who wanted to hear from Tom Weirman, and we said we love Tom Weirman. Why aren't you having Tom on the show? I was like, oh my goodness, they're going to come with pitchforks if we don't put Tom on the show. Well, you have a lot of support, and rightfully so. If we didn't put you on, there should have been pitchforks because we've known you for a while. And we've had some great conversations. I'm excited because let's put Tom Weirman in the assembly. What does Tom want to get done first? What is your first initiative when you get in there that you're going to try and push the state legislature to take on?
Well, number one, get rid of the mandates immediately. It is unconscionable that people lost their jobs because they wanted to make a true medical decision for themselves. And I mean a medical decision only for them. Okay. They need to, and listen, I know all the candidates have said we need to get them their jobs back, get them back pay, all that type of stuff. But, I want to also add into that, we should be able to sue any type of institution or establishment that participated in discrimination against anybody who did not take that vaccine, because that's exactly what it is.
I like that. I like, see, this is what we're talking about with new ideas. A lot of times we don't get a lot of new ideas coming from people, but you know what? I'm down for it. Let's do it. I'm sure a lot of people in the chat would love to sue their old boss.
Yeah.
I didn't lose my job because of I didn't lose my job because of the mandates, but I mean, I'll jump on the class action suit. I didn't like my boss. All righty. Well, Tom, thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah,
where can everybody follow you? I know we got 22 hours left till the polls open, but what can people do to give you a hand in these last minutes of the run? Well,
you could check out some of my other ideas. I think I have a lot of original ideas also on my website, tomforassembly.com. And what you could do if even if you live outside the district, but you have friends or family who live inside the district, call them up. They're Republicans. Say, you know what? Check out my friend Tom. Please vote for him tomorrow, Tuesday, on election day. Because you know what? I really believe if there's going to be a time, 30-year incumbent, 30-year incumbent, Stephen Englebright, it's going to be this year.
Absolutely.
The Democrats keep doubling down on dumb in every decision they make. And you know what? I want to highlight all those things that they've been doing, and it's time to take the assembly back.
So if you guys are up in the Stony Brook area, Mount Sinai, what else is up there?
Mount Sinai, Port Jefferson, Port Jeff Station, Coram, Selden, Center Reach, parts of Yaphank, Medford, Middle Island, Lake Grove.
Start a group chat, baby. Start a group chat with your friends. Let them know that Tom Weirman is the guy for them to vote for tomorrow. And make sure they get out and vote for Lee Zeldin, please. And
yes.
Judy, now look at this. I mean, we are just rolling through great candidates here. You had Lee on 2 days ago. Judy Pascal came in real quick. She's doing, and I think she's doing every radio station,
every show. She's everywhere.
I was listening to her on the way in today on a.
Well, you know what? But the thing about Judy is she has to be everywhere. When the party decides to drop the amount of money they dropped into a race like this, she's got to be everywhere.
Oh, we went over that.
I'm sure we did.
So tomorrow that'll be fun because I know you guys are watching because you can't help it.
Hi, guys.
Hi. Tomorrow's not going to go well for you.
Man, I can't wait for Thanksgiving.
Holy gobble gobble. But Tom, thank you so much for coming in.
Hey,
guys, head on over to Tom Weirman for Assembly, tomforassembly.com.
Tomforassembly.com, right.
Guys, we got 1 day left. If you guys want to know how to get involved, this is how you get involved. Pick a candidate who is awesome, like Tom Weirman. And
Tom Weirman.
Look, I know I'm not going to sleep tonight. I'm sure you're not sleeping tonight.
I did all my sleeping this morning.
Yeah, Sean got this. So Sean's driving tonight because the big guy is going to sleep. Okay, that's happening.
It's tough.
Yes, sleep is for after Tuesday. That's
sleep, yeah. No sleep.
That's right.
Like the Beastie Boys, right? No sleep till Wednesday.
Well, we did no sleep till Long Beach 2 nights ago.
Yeah, that was TomForAssembly.com. Thank you so much for coming in. So, Sean, finally, I get to I got to start the show today. So I want to congratulate you on because it's not easy.
Not going to congratulate you on doing a fantastic job. I woke up and I went, "Oh my!"
I'm just proud of myself. I got all the buttons because, guys, for those of you who don't, Tom, over there, man. For those of you who don't know, I have the technological ability of like a 90-year-old. So I got to like plug in all the wires and hit all the buttons and shit. I don't know how to do any of that. That's all him.
So here's what went on, right? So I went to sleep last night and we're not used to sleeping. So I totally forgot that when you go to sleep, if you want to get up on time, you have to set an alarm. So what I did was I passed out before setting the alarm and then woke up in a frantic panic this morning when Judy Pascal and Kevin were having a nice conversation, and I was like, usually I'm there for those. So Kevin did a fantastic job.
I joke around that it's like, it's like I can do the talking. There's Tom walking by. I can do the talking. I can do the talking, no problem. It's the setting up the damn computer that throws me off. There's all sorts of USBs and micros and mails.
USBs and HDMIs. There's more letters setting up the computer than there is in the LGBTAIIIIIIIIIP plus.
But before we keep going about the assault that absolutely didn't happen.
Oh yeah.
Guys, head on over to loudmajorityus.com, sign up for the newsletter, check out the shop. I want to thank Tom Weirman running in Assembly District 4, which is basically the top end of Nichols Road out there by Stony Brook University. So if you're around there, make sure you check out Tom's name on the ballot. I want to thank Judy Pascal. 16 years she's been serving this community in a thankless job. It's a county clerk job. It's a lot of paperwork. Without her and her organizational skills and what she's good at, you guys wouldn't probably, if you were born in Suffolk County, you probably wouldn't be able to get a birth certificate. You probably wouldn't be able to get, your mortgage stuff moved around, all your housing paperwork. Judy keeps track of all that. When she was talking about how great her staff is, that sounds like tedious bullshit work that would drive me up the wall. So I want to thank Judy Pascal for 16 years of incredible service, being screwed over by the party hacks. So let the party know that you say no, and pick Judy Pascal. Keep her in office because honestly, she's really cool. She's an awesome person. And obviously, you guys know, we'll probably drop some numbers here right now. And let's go tomorrow. Look at that. We are now at 21 hours until open in New York. 21 hours.
21 hours.
Mark, guys, this is your chance. And I'm a big believer in the fact that if you don't vote, shut up.
Right.
You had your chance to say something. Like I said, we talk about this all the time about how every vote matters. Claudia Tenney, Congresswoman from upstate New York, won by 86 votes. Half a block in any Long Island neighborhood. That's half a block, 86 votes.
That's half a block.
For a state senator who lost by 314 votes. That's one block in Massapequa. You know how big blocks are in Massapequa. That's one block in Massapequa. So if you don't think every vote matters, guys, and look, get out, vote. I said at the beginning of the show, there are 2 billion people around this country who will never know the opportunity that you guys have tomorrow, that we as Americans have tomorrow to pick our own, to have our say. Don't pass it up.
That's right. And if you look at Georgia too, the Georgia Senate, if you merely had the same amount of people, the very same people that 3 months or 2 months prior to that election voted for Trump came out in Georgia and voted for David Perdue, I believe it was, and Kelly Loeffler, I think it was out there in Georgia for the two Senates in Georgia. You would have had Republican senators in Georgia, and you wouldn't have seen infrastructure bills passing and all sorts of things. We would have been able to block it in the Senate. So every vote counts. Please do me a favor. You may think there's something going on with voting machines. There may be something going on with voting machines. All I know is that tomorrow, right now up until this point, the only thing that we can do to combat that is to vote like hell. Okay? So we haven't audited every single machine in New York yet. We don't know what's going on. So the only way we know that works is what we did in the fall of 2021. If this thing was actually rigged to take New York away from the people, why did those ballot propositions for same-day voter registration fail? Why did those ballot propositions for mass mail-in ballots fail? Don't you think they would have rigged that easily and then had no problems going on in the future?
To be honest with you, that probably would have been easier to rig because they were statewide races.
Yeah.
Instead of so they could have just sent in blank ones with those initiatives on the back, and they wouldn't have had to drop them off in this district or that district over here, or make sure they're on this side of the line. They could have just sent all that in, but the voters came out and the voters said, same-day registration, not going to happen. Mail out, unsolicited mail out ballots.
Mail-in ballots
happen. Something happened with, I don't know, the environment or weather or some shit like that. I don't even know what the hell that thing was all about. We said that's not going to happen, and there was one more that I can't remember.
But what we have to remember is that it was not just rejected by a slim minority; it was rejected by a massive margin. And I would think if I was the Democrat Party and I was really actively cheating in the state of New York, I would have gone, well, all we got to do is cheat in that statewide race, print it, stuff the ballot box, and then we never have to worry about an election again.
Yep.
So if they didn't go for that, why are they going to come for this?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So the way to beat all of this is to get out there, get your friends, get yourself, and get 10 of your friends to get out and vote. I spoke to some people yesterday. Hey, are you voting? Oh, there's an election Tuesday? Yes. Are you a registered Republican? Yes, I am. Okay, cool. I need you to go out and vote. I need you to tell mom and dad they got to go out and vote.
Yeah.
And that's how we go out and we get these people out. I don't want to hear about Dominion. I don't want to hear about Lynn Wood and his crazy hats. I don't want to hear about. I definitely care about keeping our elections safe and secure. 100%. You lose your security in your elections. You have doubt in your elections, and you're going to lose your country. So, by all means, we don't want to have that take over and be the narrative and be the mindset of the nation. No, but what I can tell you is that we are tasked with a job between now and 22 hours from now, and between now and 22 hours from now, the way that job gets done hasn't changed, right? Nothing has changed from 2020 up until now yet. That's what we're working for. And so the only method that we know that can work, the only available outcome, the only available method that we can use isn't a method, or is just voting. That's it. That's the only way we know how to play this game. There's no new tricks. There's no new tips. It's get out, go to the polls, fill out a ballot, and vote. And if you're not willing to do that, then you cannot be a part of the solution. So get out and vote.
And tomorrow, guys, the polls are open from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. statewide. Doesn't matter where you live. If you're in New York State, the polls are open from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. statewide. So you guys, unless you're working a triple shift tomorrow, or I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Get out. These guys, it's so crucial because these assembly district guys like Tom Wehrman, these elections come down to hundreds just because of the size of the district. Assembly districts are not that big. They're really not. They're not the dense populations that you're going to think they are. You know, it's not like a congressional district. We see Captain Cornicelli in the chat. His congressional district goes from West Hampton to Amityville on the South Shore.
Right.
60 miles. These assembly districts might be 15 miles long.
Yeah, they're like towns. They're just a couple of towns that are lumped together. That's really it.
Particularly the denser the place you live. You know, I mean, I remember we were out for Stefano Forte in Whitestone. He's running for state senate. Like, one side of the street is his district, the other side isn't, but the corner of that street it's very odd. So you guys,
this is a good question that we just got in the chat here from Joan Sitkowski. I'm going to put it on the screen. She's asking, can a registered conservative vote tomorrow? So the answer to that is, if there was a conservative primary, then you can. Yes. But right now, the only way you can vote for Lee Zeldin or anybody else in the Republican primary, Tom Wehrman or anybody else in his primary, well, you're not voting for anybody else. You're voting for Tom Wehrman. Judy Pascal or anybody else in that primary, which, you know, obviously we're voting for Judy. The only way you can do that is if so New York's not an open primary state. You have to be a registered Republican or conversely a registered Democrat to vote for those candidates in the primary. I'd love to change that. But that's unfortunately what it is now.
I'd like to keep that, but what I'd like to change is all of your voter registrations to make you guys registered Republicans.
That works
there aren't conservative primaries, there aren't working families primaries. So unless you're a registered Republican or a registered Democrat, you cannot vote tomorrow. We don't have that. So you know what? From now on, I'm just going to carry around voter registration forms and just change that. We're going to boost voter registrations. Scott Presler is going to be excited. It's going to be phenomenal. Yeah. It's going to be fantastic, right?
Yep, fantastic. It's going to be incredible, actually. You said fantastic. The F word, my favorite F word. Fantastic.
It's amazing. It's amazing that the impression still comes through. Like over, I mean, you have just an earbud in and no like big microphone, and it's still, you know, it works. It works.
Still works.
So, like I said, guys, we'll be doing that. If there's any registered conservatives out there who want to switch to the Republican Party, I would do it. You get more say over your particular races because you now have a say in the primaries. You know, I was talking to Mom before. She's a registered independent, and we were talking about who to vote for, and I was like, you can't.
You can't.
You can't, you know, which sucks because you would think by now, living with me,
be nice.
She would have every bit of political information imaginable because, you know, I really feel bad for her. She's trying to talk to me about the Mets, and I'm just like, yeah, well, you know, politics.
Thin ice, sir. Thin ice, sir.
I mean,
No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
Barry says, "Nice flag." This is a flag that Barry actually did give me. So
um,
it's like you have to see the size. It's big enough to fly off of Lenny's truck.
that's funny. Barry gave you a flag because he gives me agita. But all right, guys. So last show before the primary. We're rolling. We're pulling up on an hour here. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I want to thank Tom Weirman, Assembly District 4, which is the north
He's
end.
so cool.
He's an awesome dude. Which is
I love Tom.
The north end of Nichols Road, up by Stony Brook University. If you live anywhere around Stony Brook University, Port Jeff Station, Mount Sinai, Coram, what is that? Middle Country Road up there, and Nichols, everything over there. That's Tom Weirman. Make sure you guys get out and vote for him. Obviously, I mean, Jesus, Judy Pascal has been serving this county. She's been serving this county since before the majority of us got into politics. She was a female leader before it became cool. She did it. She's a rock star. She's an awesome person. And you know what? I'm just going to say, she's getting fucked. She's getting fucked by party hacks over bullshit. And you know what? I don't like that crap. It doesn't need to happen. This is the swampy shit that goes on. That why people hate politics, because of the insider baseball bullshit. That's why we don't get invited to things, because they don't like us because we don't play the game. I don't care. I'm not kissing the ring. If you suck, you suck. If you're like Judy Pascal and you rock. We got to get Judy Pascal elected. So make sure you guys get out there.
I like with the Judy race. I like all these mailers that are coming out accusing her of, donating to people that, whatever. You see the word Hillary Clinton on there. It's like funny that some of the people are running the same type of attack ads against Lee Zeldin. It's beyond me that there was a party that backed this woman, run after run after run. Now all of a sudden, they forget what they did in the past. She's a liberal. She's always been a terrible person. Why were you behind her then? Right. So, to me, this doesn't make sense. You should be able to see through that type of phoniness. I don't like phoniness. And honestly, I hope Judy Pascal wins this thing 70-30, because I'm going to laugh all the way down Sunrise Highway.
And look, guys, I want you to know that we know why this is happening to her, why the party is attacking her. I can't tell you because I can't prove it, and I know that these party hacks absolutely sue me at the first possible opportunity, because you think there are people out there that don't like us on the other side. Crazy Lisa, the ugly pizza lady.
Those people are tame.
Jay Freed, they are butter soft compared to what these party hacks would do to the two of us if they had the chance. So I'll tell you in private. So if you see me, come up to me and say, why is Judy Pascal getting screwed? And I'll tell you. But guys, tomorrow, let's do it. All right. All the BS aside, I'm sorry. I used some language. I'm getting yelled at in the chat here. Jesus Christ.
It's okay. It happens.
I'm getting yelled at over here. Look, I'm passionate, all right? I don't like seeing good people getting by.
Yeah, it's not.
Right? I'm looking at that. I don't like seeing good people getting screwed over by people who used to be their friends. So if there's anybody in the chat who used to be a friend and then I didn't do exactly what you wanted to and you're a bridge troll, I don't need friends like that. So I know you're watching because you can't not watch. Not getting anything in the world wrong, except paying people pay to come over the bridge. So guys, it's we're hitting that hour. I'm getting so close to just saying it.
Don't do it.
I'm not going to, but every day I'm getting closer and closer. You're a bridge troll.
If you want to know who the bridge troll is, I'll tell you when you're older, and then you'll know why I can never go back to SeaWorld.
I'll tell you why when I see you in person. I really don't want to. It turns out 90% of the things people hear about us aren't true anyway. So we can just you live at Mar-a-Lago apparently.
That's where I am now. Obviously, I'm in Mar-a-lago. I'm not in my bedroom. I'm in Mar-a-Lago actually.
Just in case anybody who doesn't have any teeth wants to keep talking crap. Or people who
breathe. Just breathe. He's doing okay. It's been a very weird morning. It's been a very long couple days, but we're excited.
20 hours
inside of 20 minutes.
20 hours, 45 minutes till the polls close. Till the polls open. Everybody, let's go. Make sure you guys go out and get your champagne tomorrow because I'm looking at early voting numbers and it's time to dance, baby.
Yeah, we're getting excited. So obviously nothing's in the bag until we get out and vote. Nothing happens until all the votes are counted. But we're really excited to see how this turns out. We're excited for our slate of candidates, hopefully to do very well tomorrow. And ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be the first step in taking back our state.
Ginger Pagano, we are just kidding. Sean does
Yeah.
not go to Mar-a-Lago every weekend.
I'm not actually down in Mar-a-Lago.
From idiots, genuine morons, people that are like, oh, I don't have anything going on in my life, so let me just make things up about people.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid, but we deal with it. Like Tom said, you're going to deal with it, like we had asked, and Judy's dealing with it, and it's everyone's dealing with it. So, at the end of the day, we just want you to come out. We want you to be involved in the process. We want you to get out there, vote for your guys and gals who are running for office. Take ownership of the process going forward.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we have to do. This is how we take back the state. After the polls close tomorrow, there are going to be candidates that are going to have been selected by the people. It is our job, after those candidates get selected by the people, to unify and remember what the mission actually is, and that is to take back New York. So there's animosity, there's tempers that are flaring, it's getting tense, there's a lot of anxiety, there are a lot of words being thrown around. It's been a hard fought fight. Everyone's fighting hard, and everyone, I think, believes they're fighting hard for the right reasons. Did the race get a little more contentious than I wanted it to? Of course. Have we called for calm since March 23rd? We have. Are there episodes and things that are on the record that said if we continue this, that will be the reason why Kathy Hochul wins in November? There is. Have there been hour-and-a-half-long phone conversations that I've had with people who have not held up their end of the bargain when I said, I will get things done if we can put out a joint statement for calm? There is. I recorded that call. And if anybody wants to come on there and tell me that I'm lying, I'll play it back on air. It did happen. And there was a lot of people who didn't hold up their end of the bargain to keep this thing clean. But we have been calling for that for a while. Right? So what we need at the end of this race and at the end of this entire process, is for everyone to drop the crap, okay? This is no longer a fight from within. Primaries are a good thing. They will put the best ideas and the best candidates and the best policies and the best platform forward. This primary is going to end. It's going to be over tomorrow night. If I hear about stolen elections, I don't want to hear from you ever again. Trust me when I say this, if the Republican Party in this state is putting, or especially in this county, is putting this much time and energy into a county clerk's race, they're not running anything remotely close to what you saw in 2,000 Mules. Okay? Let's be realistic.
I'd be shocked if they could come up with 2 mules.
Yeah. Let's be realistic here. And let's remember that tomorrow when the polls close, when the votes are counted and everything is said and done, we're getting together behind the common goal of taking back New York State, taking it off the board for the Democrats and making history. Okay, that's the goal here, and that's what we have to do after the primaries end tomorrow.
All righty, guys. Well, we have hit the hour mark.
We've hit the mark.
I gotta. Sean, you want to get breakfast?
Yeah, just give me a second. I gotta handle something right after the show.
All right, guys. Sean, do your outro thing.
You got it. All right, folks. Well, we say these 4 words over and over and over again until the people in power either get it, get the hell out of our way, keep paving our roads. I give credit where credit's due.
Yes.
A lot of work on the LIE last night. A lot of work. It looks good. The smell of fresh poured asphalt. It's nice and level. They shut the whole thing down at 10 o'clock. We were complaining, but we were like, wait, we ask for this every day. So
we ask for it.
So kudos to those who are fixing the road. We love it. But we say these words over and over and over again until the people in power either get it, get the hell out of our way, pave our roads, or lower the price of gas. We also, one more time, give a big time shout out. Kevin, his Randa stream, did a great job this morning, figured it all out. Like, boom, got it up, got it going. Give us a little dance.
I learned from the best, my friend.
Give us a little dance. Yeah, a little YMCA. And those 4 words are that if we do not consent, we will not comply. Thank you, guys. God bless you guys. Vote Zeldin tomorrow. Vote Weirman tomorrow. Vote Pascal tomorrow. Get out there and vote. Vote like hell. We will be talking to everybody as tomorrow wraps up. We'll hopefully be alive for Wednesday morning. And until Wednesday morning, ladies and gentlemen, stop complying with any unlawful mandates and madness. And as always, stay loud.